Okay, it's time for a new unboxing video, and as you can see, it's of an electrical item, and it's of a heat gun from a company called Parkside. They do many different types of tools. Obviously, in this case, it's a heat gun. They do drills, and then they do electrical screwdrivers as well. So it's not like I haven't heard of the company, so I have. I got this from my local Lidl store. Sometimes once a week they do different promotional items. So sometimes they sell electrical screwdrivers, sometimes they even sell drills in there, different types of machinery. Obviously in this case, this being a heat gun, luckily when I went in there last week, on Friday, which would be the 12th of April, they had two of these items available. The item in there was $12.99, but I actually didn't pay that price at all, as I had a little gift voucher for £10. So I essentially only paid $2.99 for this particular item. So for me, an absolute bargain. I did have a look at the actual what it says the item could be used for. It does say it could be used for barbecues in terms of lighting, obviously lighting the coals, or it can be used for stripping paper, or for what I want it for is all for stripping paint, which obviously if you've got something that is gloss based, obviously that's not going to come off by the conventional means, i.e. terps. I mean, that's not going to work in it. So sometimes, for example, that you'll be painting whether it's something that's wood or a wall, and you've got multi layers of the paint, because obviously some people just paint over it like what I do, and sometimes what you just want to do is strip away the paint completely, and then through the different layers, and then obviously sand it down, whether it's wood, or you're gonna resurface a wall, or replaster it, should I say, and then obviously this item will actually help. Now, I have been looking for a heat gun for quite a few years actually, but it was just kind of the actual price ranges that kind of put me off in terms of wanting to buy one. But I did intending on actually buying one, because obviously I wanted to use it to strip away paint and basically have a DIY work. So when I saw it at $12.99, about a week before I bought it, I was iffing and butting and whether or not I should pick it for $12.99, because that did seem a good, reasonable price. But then I remembered a few days later that while I was in Lidl actually doing some shopping, that I had a couple of gift vouchers. So I just used one of them, and as I said before, only paid $2.99 rather than $12.99 because of the £10 gift voucher. And I was afraid that when I got to the counter to try and use the actual voucher, that they would say that, oh, is it expired or it's not going to work. But luckily it did. There was a kind of a different kind of a process that they had to do to get voucher to work, but it did, and it took a little bit of a while, longer than doing normal shopping, but I actually got it, so you can actually see it here. So yeah, I'm really kind of happy with it. So as you can see, it's by Parkside. It does come with a 3-year warranty, which I'm assuming that you're gonna have to put that online, I'm assuming. It does come with multiple different accessories with different nozzles. I'm assuming that that's going to be stainless metal. Obviously, because with the thing pumping out heat, obviously that would melt if it was plastic. So we'll take a closer look at it before we unbox this, and you can hear it. If you can hear it, you can actually hear the metal inside of it rattling around. It says heat gun. Practical tool for stripping, shaping and heating. So you can actually use it if you wanted to bend, say, a material like plastic in a particular angle. You can actually use this to actually heat up, say for example the plastic, and then slowly bend it or conform it to the shape that you want. It says that the power consumption is 2,000 watts. Temperature between 350 and 600 degrees Celsius. So you got that. Airflow 330 to 500 L min. So I don't know what that completely means. You can see the diagram there where someone's using the heat gun to actually bend the plastic to conform it to what they want. And then another thing where someone's using something to heat it up, to mold something to a particular position, so you can see there. And then what I mentioned earlier is that you can see somebody using it to heat up a barbecue, or to start a barbecue, should I say, and using that heat obviously to lift up wallpaper. So that's going to be incredibly handy if that's something that you have in mind. So it can be used for multiple different things. Gets it right here. It says practical tool for stripping, shaping, and heating. Can be used to light barbecues, temperature and blower. Adjustable in 2 stages. Robust housing with soft grip fittings. Can be stored upright for stationary use, as you saw with the person bending that plastic. I'll show it again. And then obviously you've got the power consumption, 2000 watts, temperature between 350 to 600 C, airflow volume 330 to 500. The accessories, you get 1 reducer nozzle, 1 spatula nozzle, 1 surface nozzle, and 1 barbecue lighter nozzle. And the actual power cable itself is 4 meters, so that should be fairly long. Now, if you're going to use it, say, for example, to strip paint, and obviously you're going to have to get high up, I would suggest obviously using a extension cable, because that's probably what I'm going to have to do when I eventually get around to using it. And of course, for safety reasons, if you're going to be using equipment like this, first of all, make sure you have goggles, because you don't want to know where things are flying around. Also, wear gloves. You can wear builder's gloves, which you can get for about $2.15 in places like Power Station, I think it's called. No, tool station, should I say. Or any places that do DIY, or even B&Q. And they're usually about £2 or £3 for the black kind of soft rubbery gloves. And also, if you're going to be using some paint, because of the fumes, I would suggest using a respiratory mask, so that when you're sitting there and you're heating up paint and scraping off, that you're not breathing in the fumes, because obviously that could be dangerous in your lungs, especially if you're asthmatic. So make sure you kind of follow those kind of things, which is what I need to get a mask, even though I did have them somewhere around, but I do need to get a new one, but I do have everything else. So without further ado, we shall unbox this. Again, as I said, I've been looking for something like this for quite a long while, so I'm really happy that I got that, and then luckily that I got the voucher. Now, for those of you who follow my channel, you would maybe have seen that in the past I've had problems with Lidl, with some personal stuff that's happened in store, and basically obviously me having to complain to the customer services. So that's how I ended up with the vouchers, because of what personal stuff I've gone through. You can find the videos that I've done in relation to that through my channel, so we won't have to go through that again. Okay, we'll open this up here. Maybe that eventually, that when I also, I'm going to practice using this, but in terms of stripping with paint. But what I might do maybe is that I might do a little video about it. Once I sit there and kind of get the hang of stripping paint with this heat gun, maybe I might even show you a quick demonstration on how it works. But again, it's only once I've mastered in using this particular product. So this is what was rattling around. You've got the different hose parts all sealed away, as you can see. Move it out of the way for the time being. Okay, you've got the different nozzles, as you can see, and just not. That's totally solid stainless steel. Doesn't feel cheap at all. I'm trying to assume that this is the barbecue one. Yeah, I remember right. This is the nozzle that you would use on your barbecues, obviously, to light it up. So you can see that there. Again, as I said, solid piece of metal. Doesn't feel cheap at all. And you've got the other nozzle here. Again, I've obviously thinner. Again, That's solid. Oh god, my calendar just fell down. As you can see, it's really solid. And we've got the third piece. Again, doesn't feel like I'm squeezing it. Doesn't feel like it's gonna like bend in any way. Again, that's solid metal. Let's see what, and then finally, you've got this last piece here, which I have no idea what that's going to be used for. I'm assuming that's the, that's also going to be used for something. Let's see what it says. I think this is the piece that you would use if, yeah, this is the piece that you would connect. So to say if you were going to bend a piece of plastic once you've heated it, like I'm showing a picture, I'm not stuff around here. That, as you can see from here, where the guy is also just got a piece of plastic here, and he's bending. He's also, his heat gun is stationed upright, which it can be done used upright, as it said in the instructions. And as you can see, he's bending the plastic into shape. So that's what this nozzle would be used for. So we've got all those pieces again. They seem to be really good, strong metals, as if there's no fear that it's going to break or melt in any way. So we've got those. We'll put those back in the bag. So that's kind of great that we've got all the tools all in one. And then also they do sound and feel as if they're going to be very resistant, which it should be, especially to heat. I'll put that out of the way. Yeah, and then especially with an item like this, we've got the instruction manual in black and white. And it does say here that with you've got a Q card over here, so you can actually scan that to get a PDF version of this. The instructions, very easy to read, as you can see with the writing, because even with my eyesight, mine is pretty bad. It tells you how to use the device and the initial setup, and how to use what nozzle and what, so that's kind of great. And also, and it's in various different languages as well, so if your English isn't your first language, then obviously that's gonna, I don't know what other languages, I think it's Dutch that I do reckon, not Dutch, it's German that I recognise with one of them. I don't know what the other ones are, or the languages are, the rest of them, but obviously, even if you can scan that and you've got all the accessories there on the front, so everything's all covered. Okay, we'll take out the main itself. Wow, it's much bigger than I actually expected. I think it's because I'm using glue guns and those are pretty small. Let me set some push into frame. And as you can see, that's the gun itself. It's actually quite big. This is a normal, say, air freshener. And when you compare it in terms of the lengthwise, it's about the same length. So you kind of get a kind of an understanding how big the actual item is. So it's quite long. You see, in terms of the actual weight of it, it is quite heavy. Not too heavy. You got the switch there. As it says here, you can actually leave it to stand upright. So if I can try and demonstrate this, see, as to what the person was doing in the instructions. Obviously the top bit's been cut out because obviously it can't fit it all in screen. But you get a gist of that it can be used like that, and then obviously you would use whatever it is on top. You've got the cable here, which is 4 meters long, so that's quite long in regard in terms of what you need it to do. But obviously, if you're going to be really high up, you're definitely going to need a electrical extension lead, which you can get really easy from any electronical store. But even for just short little things, for 4 meters, that's actually pretty good. As I said before, in terms of your hand, it does feel, I've got big hands myself, and you can tell that it fits perfectly and snug inside your hand. You've got the rubber grips there, so, and at the front, so you've got a good grip instead when you're holding it. And obviously, if it being a heat, you have to be very, very careful that you don't burn yourself. We'll put one of the accessories that this came with on the actual machine itself. We'll use the barbecue one just because obviously it's spring, coming on to summer. So you got that there. I'm trying to figure out what part is the top part, what is the bottom part. I think it matters. Okay, we'll fit this on. And as you can see, fits on perfectly. No, and it's really tight, so you don't have to worry about it accidentally kind of just falling off while in use. Obviously, you've got the on and off button there. It's fairly simple to use. Obviously, you can change the temperature, so I'm assuming that one's on one temperature and one's on another temperature, so you can adjust the actual temperature itself by obviously just changing the button. So that's off, I'm assuming, and then you got that. I would say that that's off, and that's probably, I'm assuming that that's the higher temperature, and then going below, that's the lower temperature. It could be the other way around. But again, as I said, really good grip in terms of actually holding it. It's a little bit heavy, but not too heavy. That it, obviously, if you've got weak wrists, that it's gonna be like it's gonna be aching after using it for quite a long while. Does feel the quality of it does seem a very good build. And again, as I said before, the handles have got like a really good rubberized grip, so you'll get a good grip in it. So you don't have to worry about dropping the actual item itself. And yeah, I'm really pleased with this purchase, and in terms of how much I ended up having to pay for it. Now, although Lidl do bring in different items in every week, sometimes when the items don't sell out, they keep them there for weeks upon end, even when they don't sell out. Obviously, because they're just, and then once the stock is gone, it's gone. So kind of bear that in mind. Like even for $12.99, I don't know how much the other competitors sell their versions of the heat gun for, but kind of bear that in mind. Obviously that, you know, that other companies may sell it for around about the same place, or it may be more expensive, and maybe it has even more functionality than this particular item from Parkside. But as I said, I'm really pleased that I've got this item. As for not only for the price, but it's an item, as I said before, that I've been looking for quite a few years. In terms of, I really wanted a heat gun to start doing some DIY, and now obviously I finally got one for $2.99 instead of $12.99. So I'm really pleased that I remembered that I had that voucher, and luckily they had, well, this was the second, they had 2 of these still left. So really glad that I've picked this up, and I'm looking forward to trying it out, and hopefully it does what I need it to do, because as I said before, there's a couple of walls in my bathroom that I want to strip away, and with the paint, and then obviously get back to the raw basics of the raw plaster, and get rid of all that paint. And then obviously I know it's going to be a bit of a long process in actually doing it, but now I'm finally glad I've actually got one. Many years ago, I've had friends and family members who've had heat guns, and I've contemplated and asking them to borrow their particular item, right? But sometimes it's nice to be able to borrow items off of other people, but it's also nice to have your own set of tools, so you don't have to sit there and some of your friends may not be able to give it to you, or you may break it by accident, or you may forget to give it to them, or etc. But yeah, I'm really glad I've got this item, and as I said before, I'm really itching to try it out. Not because it's a new toy, but it's something for me DIY wise that I really I've needed over the years, and I've actually kind of got it, and it does look very simple to use, and the added bonuses, as the instruction said. You can use the item upright, and you can also use it to light barbecues as well. So, if you're somebody that's afraid of lighting one, and with that nozzle in it, that's gonna help light barbecues in a much more safer environment, rather than using matches or getting your fingers or your hands burnt. So I didn't know it could do that until I picked up and looked at it in store. But yeah, I'm really pleased to actually pick this item up. So if you do have a Lidl in your vicinity, and you are looking for a heat gun, and they still have them in stock, then I would say pick one up if you really kind of need one to do in your DIY line of work. And even at $12.99, I still think that's a very good price. And from what I've seen of the Parkside's different various electrical equipment that they do have in their range, they do seem to be very good, and they'd be a good quality build. So that's the heat gun by Parkside. Anyway, I hope people found this video informative. Please feel free to share with your friends and family. Also, if you can give this video a thumbs up, I would highly appreciate that. That will allow new people to find my channel and content on YouTube recommendation page. This is because of the YouTube algorithms favor the bigger YouTubers, so their channel and content gets advertised on the YouTube recommendation page, so that will allow me to find new viewers and new subscribers. Speaking of subscribers, just before Christmas, we hit over the 500 sub marks. So a big thank you to all the subs, old and new. I really appreciate that. That really means a lot to me, and something that the stuff that I love doing is more of a kind of a hobby, or even a type of entertainment. So thank you for all those people who have subscribed to my channel. That really means a lot from the bottom of my heart. We hit over 600 YouTube subs just a few days ago. So again, a big thank you to my subs, old and new. I really appreciate that. I didn't think I would get to 600 subs that quickly, just shortly after Christmas. So yeah, we're nearly a quarter of a way into the 600 sub mark. So I'm really kind of happy, and I'm really appreciative of the people that have subscribed to me. So that really means a lot. Even the viewers that watch my channel and don't necessarily subscribe. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. If you don't. But even the viewers that don't and just watch along without subscribing, that again, I really appreciate the viewership, and again the subs, old and new, that have subscribed to my channel. So that really means a lot. So a big thank you. The next milestone for me will be 1,000 subs. Obviously that's going to be a long while before we get there. But maybe we'll try and do something special when we eventually get to the 1,000 subs mark. So that's obviously going to be quite a long while away. So yeah, again, as I said, I want to reiterate what I said earlier on. When using the heat gun, make sure you're wearing protective gloves, goggles of some kind, and also a protective breathing mask, so that covers your mouth and nose, so that you're not inhaling the fumes if you're using it to strip paint. So I wanted to make that kind of really clear, and obviously keep out of the reach of young children, because obviously it's a hot item. So, and obviously be careful of any wires or any wire work, because obviously this is heat that you're kind of dealing with. So again, being careful. Anyway, it just leaves me to say, wherever you are in the world, please stay safe, and I'll speak to you again in my next video. Bye for now.